Good morning, dear listeners. This is Mona Mohamed. Today we have a very special guest, Dr. Rania Salama. She has a Bachelor of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, a Master's and a PhD of Pharmaceutical Sciences. And if that is not enough, she's also got a Diploma of Kinesiology and a Diploma of Mind-Body Medicine. Good morning, Rania. How are you?
Good morning, Mona. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Tell me, how did that happen? From pharmacy and having a doctorate degree and academic, to somewhere holistic medicine.
Yeah. Well, it happened with a bit of stress, I have to say. As you said, I was in my academic career, teaching and researching as a research scientist and teaching at university and all that. But as most of us know, that the research career is dependent on fundings and grants. So I stayed for a good few months after my PhD and after my postdoctoral research position, waiting for the next opportunity. And a few months later, I said to myself, I can't stay like this doing nothing. I have to do something. And
this came up, like holistic perspective of the caring for the individual, the human being.
Actually, it didn't just come up. It was more of something that came up again.
Okay.
Because it was always on my mind.
Okay.
And I thought I've always wanted to learn more about complementary medicine, the natural medicine, the energetic healing, and all these modalities. So I said to myself, well, it's either now or never.
Okay, but I've just had to stop you here because your story is very inspirational, Dr. Rania. I mean, you came from overseas. Yeah, I guess.
That's correct.
Part of you did your bachelor's overseas.
Yes, and masters.
And your masters, but you did your PhD here. And
That's correct.
a lot of the women think that if you've come from overseas, there's no, and you're a mother, and you have children, mashallah, mayallah, and there is hope for other women who can become academics, who can start a new career, and you can juggle all these. Give us I want other women out there, especially those skilled mothers who came from overseas and who think there's no chance of them succeeding or getting a new career or furthering their education. Just give us a few pointers and how you actually did it and how you juggled it and it is. You're one of us,
Yep.
If you can do it, other women can.
Definitely. Well, it's not easy and it's not straightforward and it's not an already drawn path. It's to wait for the right opportunity and to be flexible with the options you have and actually look for all the options that you can find. Because as you can see from my situation, I was a pharmacist and I was in the pharmaceutical research career. But when I looked around and I said, I want to do something different and there's something still close to my heart, I looked at kinesiology, which is some people tell me that.
Yeah, what is it? Can we tell some of our audience wouldn't know what is kinesiology?
Well, kinesiology is the use of muscles or testing muscles in order to identify where the stress is in the body and what stress means. I'm going to elaborate.
We forgot to say today we are going to be talking about stress. Yes. So it makes sense to ease it off into our conversation today.
Yeah.
So it's stress.
Yes, stress. So, well, I'll go back to that.
But you're not stressed at all today. Not at all. Yes, we're all laid back.
You can tell.
We all know how to use the equipment here. And as you know, I am not a broadcaster by profession, but we're all learning, and it is something that I have very close to my heart. I really want this program to be a platform, a voice for the women out there to feel empowered, to feel to give you information that would help you in your everyday life, to give you examples of meeting women from the community that empower us and give us hope that we can change, to give us great examples of women who have become entrepreneurs, who have changed their career and who have chosen to lead their passion. And it doesn't mean that you're in a particular profession, you stay in that for the rest of your life. It does not mean that at all. If there is something, if you find your passion while you're married, while you've got kids, while you're 40, 30, 60, it's never too late to start. And today we will be talking about stress. Stress is something that affects young and old, mothers, daughters, even as young as primary. Little kids are stressed. Mom, I'm so stressed. They're stressed about everything. They're stressed about their body image from as young as kindergarten, which is ridiculous. They're stressed about exams. Mothers, we stress about everything. We stress about, are we doing a good job as a mum? Am I feeding my kids properly? Am I doing the right thing? And our fathers, they're stressing also about all sorts of things. So the stress is everywhere around our life. And today we're going to delve in onto how to deal with our stress and how to manage it from a holistic perspective with our professional, Dr. Rania Salama. So how are we going to be doing this?
Okay, so you mentioned that I'm not stressed today, and you're not stressed
today.
No,
I'm not stressed either. Nice, I don't think the audience noticed that I was stressed.
This doesn't make humans by any means. Yeah. So because we are humans, we are a little bit stressed, and I would call the stress that you are stressed today, and the one that I am in now is a bit of a healthy stress.
Okay.
Because it pushed me to be prepared. It pushed you to come that early in the morning to be ready and to prepare and to get back to your equipment and make sure that everything is okay. So a little bit of stress.
There's healthy stress and unhealthy stress.
Exactly. So when you prepare for your exam, you're stressed, obviously. Yeah. And this will push you to learn this extra page and do this just to make sure that everything is okay.
Yeah.
It pushes the athlete to do all what they can do and to get that adrenaline going when they are in their competition or whatever. Mm-hmm. So a little bit of stress in its right position is actually healthy and required, and it's actually your friend.
Okay.
The problem is that when this goes out of hand, either you stress for things that don't matter, mm-hmm. or things that will not matter next year.
Okay.
Something like I'm stressed about finances. Mm-hmm. We all do, and we tend to feel like we don't have control on that. Yes.
Well, there are things that are out of your control and you can't change, and there are things that you can.
Yeah.
So
that's right, and so this goes on, and then it turns into from an acute healthy stress to a chronic stress that will stay for such a long time. It will affect all your body systems. So
and it can move into become anxiety later on, and it could cause many mental health issues later on.
Exactly.
But does it start with stress, in your opinion?
It starts with stress. Yeah. Definitely, it starts with stress, but it goes on.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm going to just clarify now, that the healthy stress is the first stage mm-hmm. of the long chain. Okay. So if you stop there, as it should stop there, mm-hmm. then that's fine. Mm-hmm. But if it goes on and on and on, or you're just lingering on that...
If you stress about everything.
And you stress about everything and your body is heightened, your body response is heightened to everything, mm-hmm. then you're going into that cycle. Mm-hmm. So the problem is that the definition of stress is not very clear. Okay. And it's such a subjective phenomenon that differs from each, from one to one. So when you define stress, it might be different when I define stress, when a little child will define stress.
What's a common definition?
A common definition from the literature, like in psychology, they define stress as a feeling of strain and pressure. Mm-hmm. And this is probably the one that we all know. Like when I stressed, I feel pressured, I feel strained, I might feel angry, I might feel a bit of it's just
anxious.
tense.
Yeah, it's a very generic definition.
Exactly.
And a lot of things would fall under that. Unaccomplished and if you're stressed, you can't make decisions. You can't make proper decisions. You can make decisions, but
Yes.
they might not be the right ones.
Yeah. In the clinical sense, it refers to a situation that causes discomfort and distress for a person, and it can lead to other mental problems because that's a clinical definition. So, but lifeline.org defines stress as the body's way to respond to demands of pressure, which can include like being stressed from the heat, being stressed from being dehydrated, you didn't drink enough water today. And I tend to go with this one. So anything that puts demand on your body is a stress.
Okay. So demands that your body can't handle, then you become stressed.
Not only that your body can't handle, but anything that's strange.
Okay.
That's like different than
out of the norm.
what your body
is used
like
to
every day or used to. Exactly.
There was something that a clinical test that I saw the other day of an X-ray or something, a neuro X-ray, whatever they call it, about an image of the brain while it wasn't stressed, and an image of a brain while it was under stress, and it looked like a Picasso. It did. It looked like all the neurons were all over this. It was like a scribble of a little child's drawing.
Yep.
And all the neurons were all over the place. And whereas a person who is not stressed had all they were organized. It's like you had your brain in compartments, and it looked very, very organized. And no wonder you can't make rational decisions when you're stressed, because your brain is under fire.
That's correct, because as you said, your body and your brain are ready to attack or ready to fly, and this is the fight or flight response. So your body is ready to take a quick response, and usually this response is a reflex that doesn't require much of a brain activity. So everything is ready to attack or run.
Okay.
And that's a survival mechanism.
Oh, this stress is good if you have if a lion is running after you, or if you're getting into an accident, or this kind of stress is healthy, as you were saying.
Yep.
But in normal situations, when you break a pen, or the kids don't perform the way you want, or you're late to school, and all this you shouldn't get overstressed over little situations like that. So how do we deal with our everyday life? In accordance with stress?
That's a very good question. Why? Because when you are a mom and you have a stress from here and a stress from here and stress from here, they're all small stresses, but each one on its own is a stress.
Yeah.
So you have moved from stage 1 to stage 2. You have moved from the healthy stress to the next stage, which is called the resistance stage.
Yeah, I think mothers do that in 10 seconds.
That's because it has been going on for a while, and we don't notice that.
No.
And I have been there. Okay. I had 2 kids, and I was finishing off my master's, and I was working, and I was doing everything.
And you're a wife, and you have a household.
Exactly. So I was doing everything to the extent that I said, that's it, I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
Like I'm either a mother or a working female.
Yes.
Full stop.
Yeah, it is difficult. It is very hard. Yeah.
Yeah, but subhanallah, I met one of my professors at that point, and she said to me, why are you why do you want to take this decision so early, in your career, and you still have this and this and this? But she was so wise, and I keep looking at that moment in my life. I say, if it wasn't for her
wisdom,
being there and telling me just simple words, as long as everything is going, it doesn't matter how fast it's going, as long as everything is going, keep it going. Don't stop it.
Yes. These are very, very wise words.
And to add to this, she was such a successful professor.
Beautiful. Did she have a family?
She had a family. She raised her kids, but those words from her made a big difference to me.
Yeah.
So whenever I find...
She's speaking from experience. She's not
Exactly.
someone who's, starting off young or someone who hasn't had a family. She's done it all, and she's giving you wise advice from someone who's been through it. Yes.
But
very deep.
it was
they're not simple, they're quite deep.
Exactly. When I get overwhelmed and all these things come together, I said, calm down.
Yeah.
It's okay. Family first, like kids' needs first, and then I can postpone this, defer this. It will not hurt my image by any means. I'm a mom. I'm doing this.
You need to have priorities.
Already good enough.
You need to have priorities, and you also
exactly.
I think we put pressure on ourselves. We give ourselves deadlines that we. I did that to myself the other day, and I said, and one of these programs that I record, it's my decision to record them, and I don't get paid for it, and it's something that I do in my own time. And I was hoping to do one program per week, every Thursday, and I realised that I had so many projects going on at the same time, and that was not feasible. And I stressed out, and I felt like I can't do this anymore. I'm letting people down. I've got programs that I want to run, and then I realised I had an aha moment, and I said to myself, this is something I'm doing voluntarily, and we're putting these deadlines to ourselves. What if I do it once every 3 weeks? What if I do it once a month? It is something that will still reach the community. We'll still do what I do. It's going to get slowly but surely. We'll get there. So instead of airing it once a week, we can air it once a fortnight. And that's perfectly okay. These are restrictions that we add to ourselves for no particular reason. So and it does add to our stress, and it debilitates you, and it sort of paralyzes you, and you want to quit everything because you got so much on your plate.
Exactly.
It's absolutely true.
The thing is that we put the perfect plan and we stick to it. But it's not up to us. The plan is not how you planned your day or your week or your month. It's actually what life throws at us. So when something is thrown in this plan, just
spanner in the works, and that's it.
Turns everything around.
Yeah.
And
they go, oops, I didn't prepare for this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing is that this happened, and this is the new reality now. You need to have a new plan.
Yeah, you always have to have plan B and C, just in case plan A doesn't work, which usually doesn't, right?
Which doesn't, because we are most of us, I would say, are so organized, so perfectionists, that we don't allow anything to interfere in our plan. And if something does, we look at that as a failure from our side, that we didn't plan originally, taking this into account. Can you tell me how can you take this into account, like 2 years before it happens?
Oh, you can't.
You
don't have a crystal ball.
You can never do that.
Yeah.
So the thing is flexibility. You need to be flexible and deal with things as they come, be present, and just look at the things as they come.
So you were talking about
priorities.
That's very important advice, but you were talking about stage one. How can mothers, and it's this program, of course, stress deals with everybody, but how can particular women in particular deal with staying in stage one and not moving on to stage two? Okay. How can we manage that? Whether is it through healthy, being healthy and exercise, or is it through breathing? What do we do to contain ourselves and stay in stage one in the healthy range of being stressed?
Okay, there's stage 3 as well.
Oh, thank you very much.
So we want to actually break the cycle.
Okay.
So let's first introduce what stage 1 is. Stage 1 is, as you said, you had a snake in your way, and you panicked and you just moved away. Full stop. This is all done, and the stress did what it should do.
Okay.
So it protected you. You had an exam, or your son had an exam. He went next day to the exam, has done okay, and the stress went away. But the effect in the body, the biochemical effect in the body, will stay for about 90 minutes after this has
90 minutes
ended. So after you see the snake, you probably go and have lunch, or you're still stressed.
Okay.
90 minutes.
So how do you detox from that?
Well,
It stays whether you like it or not.
no, it stays until 90 minutes. That's
Okay.
biochemically, you can't do anything about this.
Okay.
But if you find yourself at the end of the day, you're still stressed, then you need to do some of those techniques, which
Okay.
you've mentioned some, like deep breathing, relaxation, try to distract yourself, talk to yourself in a rational way. It was a snake and I panicked and that's a good thing and full stop.
Well, speaking out
It
loud to
shouldn't
yourself
go-
helps.
Allow
Does
to
it?
yourself or to laugh to someone else.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you're on your own, speaking out loud,
Yes.
does that help?
It does, definitely. But
Okay.
you need to speak lovingly and logically. You don't say to yourself, oh, I'm stupid that I went that way. I'm stupid or how
You need to
ridiculous
say,
I was.
I'm
going
okay,
that
the
way."
snake is gone, everything is okay now, relax,
Yes.
relax. So you have to say positive things outward to sort of reaffirm, or what's the word?
Yeah, reaffirm is
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So your heart is still racing and your breathing is still shallow. Help yourself. Get deep breathing. Relax. Go to see someone you like. Like if it's okay to talk to your spouse, if you're okay to talk with your children, go out and play
But
with
talk to
them.
someone who's not going to freak out. Like, oh my God, I just saw a snake. Oh my God, what did you do? Oh, I would have died if it was. And it happens quite a lot when you talk to a person about something that, you know, that's quite stressful to you, and you're trying to get support. Hi there, you talk to your best friend, you never guess what happened. I go, what happened? I just, I found a huge spider under my... You're joking! I would have died. What did you do? Oh, I just, went out. Oh my God, so it's still under your bed? No! You're not panicking. I'm panicking for you, and I'm like 10 miles away. Like, you've got to choose the right person.
Exactly,
to talk to.
choose a different friend.
Yeah.
Well,
Listen, I'm just saying laughing.
Maybe they will laugh and it will just go.
Yeah, laughing is a good way to de-stress, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Hugging.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine hugging your children, hugging your spouse, hugging your best friend. This will release oxytocin, and that's a hormone that comes from the pituitary gland, and it opposes the action of the stress hormones, the adrenal and cortisol. So that's a good thing.
So when people come and tell you, I need a hug, like they do need it.
Give
like
them a hug.
It's actually, yeah, I'll give them a hug. But I'm saying for people who do say, I need a hug, it could be like what was it called?
Oxytocin.
The oxytocin in your brain. It could actually be telling you, I need something to negate it. And the hug is going to give it to you.
Exactly.
Like you can
It calms
physically,
your
not
body.
just emotionally, be needing the hug.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
exactly true.
very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah. Coming back to the holistic approach.
Coming back to, okay, we are done with that situation.
Yep.
And ideally, it's all gone
and done. So that's stage
you shouldn't-
one.
Yeah, when you remember it, you will laugh. You will, that snake, wow.
Yeah.
And it doesn't affect you. It doesn't get your heart
Racing,
rate up.
yeah.
It doesn't get you stressed.
Stressed, yeah.
Okay, if that exam situation keeps going with you, like you are stressed for the exam you've done last week, you're waiting for the results, and you are waiting for the results to tell your mom, and then you are thinking about how your mom will deal with that, and am I good enough? Am I going to be accepted? Is this my end? I'm going to fail. What will happen? And imagine something like this that will keep going on and on and on. And it's not only the exam that affects you as grown-ups. It's your exam plus your children plus this, plus this, plus this. So each one of those is a small one.
Yes.
It adds up, and you reach the resistance stage.
Okay.
So what's the resistance stage? The resistance stage where your body says, well, that's too much, and we need to get some of the body systems back to normal.
Okay.
But there are still, the stress hormones are still up, maybe not the adrenal, the cortisol is still up. Your heart rate is not always right.
So you get palpitations, sweating.
That's probably later on.
Okay.
That's probably later on.
I get it earlier. So, so I'm just relating to myself.
So you're trying to make sense of the stress because of your perception to it, which still affects you. So why am I stressed? Like you think of yourself in the morning, getting everything ready for school, and why am I stressed? Why is this stressful? Everyone does this. Why is this stressful for me? So because this is happening in your mind, and so it's still there. That's a resistance stage where you will feel fatigued. You might have some insomnia, headaches. You might gain weight or lose weight. You might be bit more. You get more sick than usual. Your immunity is lower, and you might have clenched fists,
sweaty hands,
for unknown reason, like in even if in normal situations, like normal day, you're driving and you've already dropped the kids, or you've already done this, and
you're still
anxious. In that
you're still
situation,
tense.
Exactly. Mentally, you're worried, and you're unable to concentrate. You have no patience. You jump to conclusions.
Yes.
And you
you
judge this and judge this, and you've done this because of this.
Yes.
And so...
What do we do when we get into that situation, Dr. Rania?
You stop. You stop. Because really, this is where you need to... It's already gone a bit far. And it's to the stage that you need to do something. Okay. Otherwise, you are slipping into the exhaustion stage.
Right.
So... Before I go to
stop
what
and
you
do
can
what?
do, before I stop to what you do, is I want to just go through the exhaustion stage and tell you how bad it is.
Okay.
So just to scare you.
Okay.
And
so
get you to.
So
do
we're still in stage
2. You're still in stage 2.
And all this is all the exhaustion and all these symptoms that you've just described was still in stage 2, and there is a stage 3.
Exactly.
Okay. There's another stage 3.
Exactly. So, as an example for stage 2, I had a boss at one point where I would send her an email. Mm-hmm. She would say something. And next week, why did you do that? What?
Yeah.
You just told me exactly, literally do that.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Okay? 1 situation, 2 situations, 3 situations. I said to myself, this is too much for her. She's so stressed, and that's why it comes this way.
Yeah.
Or if it's exactly the opposite, the boss is so controlling. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
And show me what you've done. And no, this is not what I asked for. Da, 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 da. That's also not so good. Or exactly opposite.
So how did you deal with her? I'm curious.
Well, she was my...
Well, I've got to know. You can't leave us all hanging.
Well, I didn't take it on myself. That's the good thing.
Yeah.
I didn't doubt myself. And I didn't say to myself, well, I should have done this. I should have done that. No. It's her problem.
Yeah.
It's her problem. It's not mine. There's nothing wrong with me. It's all wrong with her.
Yeah.
So that gave me that bit of relief. And I said to myself, that's actually out of my hand. I can't do anything about it. So
you didn't stress about it?
I did stress about it
initially
because there's a conflict here.
Yeah.
But after I thought about it, well, even if I stress about it, it's her problem.
Yes.
It's nothing to do with me. So another example, and I've seen lots of clients like this. A mom says to me, I just wake up, I don't want to do anything. I just don't want to do anything. And I lie on the couch, and that's it. So kids need to go to school, kids need to be fed, kids need this, house needs this, parents need this, da. Where is that?
But that's beyond stress. That's maybe more depression, or just she's on the borderline.
Just on the border.
She's becoming numb.
She's about to get depressed.
Yeah. So you
fast forward
past to stage 3.
We're just going into stage 3.
Oh, so that is going into stage. I thought
just going.
Okay.
Just going. If you find yourself doing this, and you don't have energy at all, then you're slipping into stage 3 easily. There's no hard cuts between them. So you just need to. The problem is that you find yourself in this stage. When did this happen? So
but it's not sudden, really. It's subconscious.
It's not sudden.
Yeah.
But you probably cannot pinpoint what day did I go from here to there.
Yeah.
So
it's like a cup, really. If you try to empty a cup gradually, or regularly, it won't overflow.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I have a friend who's also a pharmacist, and she's now a nutritionist. She's done a PhD in nutrition.
Oh, wow.
And she's completely changed her career. I still do some research, I still do some academic work, but she's completely converted to the holistic approach. She's now in Canada. And she once said, have you filled your cup? Fill your cup with what you need.
Oh, you've got to fill your cup first.
You've got to fill your cup so you can give to others. So that's just when you said the cup, you reminded me of her.
So this is a gentle reminder to all the mothers out there. I know we love our children so much, and we try and give, but in order to give, you have to give yourself first in order to give others. So many mothers are selfless, and it's a rewarding experience. Even when you're hungry and you feed your child, you almost feel content. You can almost feel the taste of their food in your own mouth. That's how loving and rewarding motherhood is. But sometimes it comes to a stage where you totally neglect yourself emotionally, physically, holistically, and you're no longer nourished, and you, like a flower, you no longer bloom. So you need to look after yourself. Emotionally, very, very important. Emotional self-care is extremely important, and stress is evident, and it is something that affects you at a clinical level, at an emotional level, and a physical level. So today's program is extremely important, and I want you to listen to it with your heart and your soul and your brain, and take the words that from Dr. Rania quite seriously, because hopefully when you reflect on them, you might feel there are some ringing bells or warning bells that are, lighting up there. And you don't say to yourself, I don't want to end up in stage 3. What do I do? It's not too late. Even if you're in stage 3, it's not too late. It's never too late. So we want you to be happy. We want you to be empowered. We want you to be able to give and have healthy children, a healthy marriage, a happy life. And you can't have that if you're stressed or overstressed. So today is a very, very important program for all your mothers out there and all the women out there. And the men, you're welcome to listen in. We won't deprive you. So, sorry, I had to put that in.
No, that was
it's
lovely.
A very
that
hard.
Was lovely. It's a good reminder, because we probably all know that. I'm sure like 90% of the audience would know that and heard this before. But we just need to remind ourselves that this is not a once you heard it and you've done it, and the next day that's a completely different situation.
I'm reminding myself again. And there was something, I was speaking to my sister the other day, and I called her and I said, I've got so much going on. I feel incompetent. And she said, you're running this project. You've got your kids, you've got this, you've accomplished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the past month. This is not somebody who's incompetent. Number one. Number two, she suggested something that was really, really pleasant. And I'm going to book that in my diary. She just suggested once a month of a personal self-care. This is a mental health day for me, and book it. And I went. I said, I went to Dr. Rania the other day for a kinesiology session, and it was absolutely amazing. She goes, 2 hours are not enough. 2 hours every now and then is not enough. You need something regular. You need a day every month to sort of set yourself and detox all that stress and recharge. And I did listen to her, and I said, you know what? I'm going to book that day for me. Yeah. I go, all right, I'm going to do all my groceries. She goes, no grocery shopping. This is going to be about you. And I think that's a good idea. And I think other women should think about it. It could be half a day. It could be one day. Whatever you can fit into your life. But it has to be regular. And you have to do it to recharge. When you put your charger in the phone, it overheats. Your laptop overheats. And so sometimes electrical appliance, and many things, because and you've got to leave it, and if you leave it for a while, you can use it again.
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion. But I would add to that to take this whenever it comes. Don't have a strict day. If it passes, you will be stressed that this has passed.
Okay.
So
if you have any opportunity,
comes, you take it.
Okay.
I had a client the other day, and she said, like I said to her, like, go into safe space. What would you visualize? She said the beach, and I said to her, do you go to the beach often? She said, no, never. I said to her,
why not?
Why not?
If that's
she
your
looked
safe
at me
space.
and said, actually, I don't know why not. I said to her, why can't you take, like, she wasn't working all day. She was working part-time, from memory, and she had a few mornings off, like she drops the kids, and then what?
Yeah.
I said to her, why don't you take yourself to the beach by your own, sit on the sand, get your feet in the water, ground yourself, and how would this feel? She said, that would be fantastic. I said to her,
why are you depriving yourself
What's
from
stopping
feeling?
you? She said, I never thought of that. I said, okay, now this is your homework.
Yeah.
This is your homework. You need to do that.
Sometimes you need to hear it, like simple things like that.
And your sister has been very clever in pointing out to you the good things that you've done, that you've forgotten about it. It's your mirror. So find yourself a good mirror where someone will be seeing what you're doing day and night, and you just, for you, it's the norm. It's not the norm. You're doing more than everyone else. You as a mom are doing more than anyone else. Like maybe not more than any other mom.
More than many, maybe.
More
the average mom. And I think, as I said at the beginning, we put restrictions on ourselves. And we're the ones that go, I want to accomplish 1, 2, 3, 4. And my to-do list is just massive. Mm-hmm. So even if I achieve 10 out of the 100, I still feel like I still didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve. I think we should be fair on ourselves and give us time management, but also look at, is that achievable? Is that an achievable goal? Reflect on your goals and say, there's so many hours in the day. Yeah.
Is it a priority?
Yeah.
That's very important as well.
Yes.
What's your priority for this week or for this day? Accomplish them first.
Yeah.
And then look at the smaller things. Don't get hooked into the smaller things and you forget about your priority, or you don't have time for your priority. Mm. And then at the end of the week or end of the day, you are stressed. You feel you haven't done what you needed to do because they were important things.
Mm-hmm. Very true. So the exhaustion stage was very interesting. And let's wrap it up and give a summary to our audience of what it contains.
So the exhaustion stage is what we call the chronic stress, and what we all know about chronic stress. So not only the symptoms will take a toll of your body, but also you will feel frustrated and helpless by these situations that keep bringing you into the stress. And from the stress, you're lacking energy. And because you're lacking energy, you can't do what you need to do.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's a vicious cycle that will bring frustration and more stress. Mm-hmm. So it will affect your body in a more vicious way. Mm-hmm. So you can reach the stage of having a thyroid problem.
From stress?
Yes.
Okay.
Hormonal imbalances, which can be actually very, very serious.
Okay.
You will be shutting down non-essential functions. So your digestion is not going as it should go. Your immune system.
But you can get constipated or get diarrhea from stress?
Yes, or alternating.
Okay.
Or you can go further and have irritable bowel disease or syndrome.
Okay.
Your immune system is going down the drain, and your reproductive function is affected on all levels.
Wow.
Blood sugar levels, either too
up
up
or
more. Too down.
Far out.
It can go anywhere. That's the thing. The body is.
And is that medically? Is this from a
anything.
medical perspective, a clinical perspective, or is this from a holistic perspective?
From all perspectives. So when someone goes to their GP and they have their blood test done and their blood sugar level is too high, or their blood pressure is too high, And when you trace it back, it's because of the stress.
Mm-hmm.
It has done physical damage.
Yes.
If it's reversible or not, it depends.
Okay.
So, like the earlier you work on it,
The better.
the earlier you have it under control, the less damage it will cause,
Okay.
obviously. You will increase your abdominal fat, especially for women.
Oh, we don't want that, do we?
Exactly. Here you go.
So stress stays around
No
your tummy,
stress.
ladies.
So and more. And to add to this, the mental and emotional effects.
They're
It will
debilitating.
you will find your relationships being affected without even noticing. You will feel empty, and you will continue with that "why bother" attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You will lose confidence in your ability, procrastination because of lack of energy.
Yeah, I'll do it
And
tomorrow.
lack of
I can't do it
motivation.
today.
Exactly. You're not engaged in the things that you used to be engaged in. And the thing is that people will start noticing that this is very different. You're very different.
Yeah.
It starts from the middle stage, the resistance, when someone says to you, "What's wrong with you? You're
not
not
yourself."
like this before."
Yeah. I hardly see you smile. You're always grumpy and you snap. And
Yeah, and it's a Snickers will not help.
yeah. Or a Kit Kat. Or maybe a Ferrero.
Yeah, and you find yourself.
It does. It's a
withdrawing from
Band-Aid
people.
solution. Yeah, you're eating it and you might
Yeah.
feel good for like 5 minutes. And
Yes,
then,
because
things
like-
that used to make you happy and
At
things
this stage,
they
they will
won't.
not.
Yeah,
They will not.
You don't
Yeah.
feel joy for the things that you used to like doing
That's
anymore.
right. That's right. And it's very important to listen to your body and your emotions and act sensibly. Put yourself first and do something so you can continue with your best. Because if you're not your best, no one in your family will be the best.
Yeah, but it's very hard, Rania, for some women to put themselves first. It's really, really
well,
hard.
they will. The
I mean,
thing is,
some ladies are not even on the radar.
I know.
Let alone being first. I mean, you've got to teach them to love themselves first and acknowledge themselves. Acknowledge, then love yourself, and then put a number next to your name.
how can they run with an empty battery? They will
Yeah,
not
a lot of them are
collapse.
drained, and then they collapse, and then the household,
What will happen after they collapse?
the whole household.
Who's taking care of the household?
Exactly.
Who's taking care of the children?
Very
Who she
true.
loved and
But
done
she
all
doesn't
this for
see
them.
that. Like the mother, a lot of mothers don't see that. A lot of mothers feel like it's my duty to be selfless.
No, that's not correct.
Yeah, but
That's not correct.
it's engraved in our upbringing
I know.
In the
I know.
Arabic community in general.
I
It is
know.
engraved that a mother has to run on nothing, and
Yeah.
and she'd be wearing torn socks, and her kids are playing with expensive toys.
Yes.
And she's a
doesn't
good mom.
matter. And it doesn't matter.
No, I know they're not important, but it feels like this is what I ought to do. This is what has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And when some mothers feel guilty for having a long shower, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or going out for coffee. Oh my God, going out for coffee with a friend.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, what? And that's a problem. They
We feel guilty
about those things.
Yeah, why that guilt, and then you turn around and put yourself first.
Yeah.
For God's sake, I couldn't go out for a coffee, or
Yes.
I felt guilty for a long bath or a long shower. And
Well,
and
the
kids
bad
are
news
knocking
is-
on the door and speaking from under. If you've got little ones, and speaking from underneath it, what are you doing? Why are you taking so long? And yeah, how do you do
The
that?
bad news is
Yeah.
this needs to change.
Yeah, but it comes from you.
Exactly, it
And
comes from you.
you have to want that change as a woman, as a mother,
And
as
it's
a wife.
gradual.
It
It
is.
can be gradual. It doesn't have to be.
But you have
like
to
I
change your
take a day
mindset.
off.
Yeah, you have to have a mindset first to acknowledge your own needs. Your body is talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's telling you, I can't handle this. And you have to start doing something about it. As soon as you hear some warning bells,
And
Stop.
Usually
Stop.
it's too late.
yeah,
When-
but you
when
said
someone does
stop.
anything-
That was the
yes,
first thing, to stop and
that's- yeah.
reflect on
Preferably
what.
after stage 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's too late like this, yes, still stop and still do something.
Yeah.
But this is usually where people feel, I have to do something.
Yeah. After it's too late.
Exactly. We need to do something before
Earlier.
that, before you get the disease.
As I say, prevention is
Yes.
better than
Yes.
cure.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but and education, and I think programs like this educate people to be more aware and more mindful of their emotional well-being and how important it is, because it is dismissed in our society. It is maybe not even to the extent I could say frowned upon. You're not crazy. It's okay. You only need a holiday. You only need, just go out and watch a nice movie, or let's watch a comedy. We'll laugh it off.
Some mothers
You'll be
feel
okay
guilty if they go and attend one of those seminars. They feel guilty because they're doing something for themselves.
Yes, they do. They do.
It's a seminar to tell them about healthy eating, or how to take care of yourself and those around you emotionally. They look at this as being, I can't leave the kids and go there.
Yeah. They think, am I wasting time? This time could be spent on the kids doing something useful. Yeah, but education and different mindset, as I said before, will change the way people think, and will definitely. I think a lot of women are going into are being more mindful now, and there are a lot of places that have certain programs that help women from different cultures.
It's getting better.
It is.
It's getting better.
I think it is. Yeah, I think there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, true. Okay, so I think that's it for now, and in our next episode, we will talk more about the techniques that we can use, holistic techniques that we can use to at any stage of those. So
today we just spoke about what stress is and the different stages of stress, and next time we'll be talking about how to manage them, and that's extremely important. We're not just going to leave you in the dark.
Yeah, we just scared you now.
Yeah. We told you there are 3 stages, and the third stage is going to be very difficult, and there's almost no coming back. But we are going to tell you there's always hope, and we're going to give you techniques and how to deal with your stress and how to manage it and how to be a happy person, hopefully.
And some of them don't take you out of your daily routine. It's just easy things to add.
You can incorporate to
like the time you're driving the kids around, or the time just before you go to sleep. 5 minutes.
Beautiful.
This will not
Beautiful.
really.
They are
take
simple.
Much
they
time.
are simple, and they're free. A lot of them are free, and we'll guide you along. And it's a reminder to ourselves as well. Her and I, we all have our challenges in life. And we have to deal with them and try and find a supportive network of a supportive person to be able to guide you along, and you guide each other, or mirror each other in order to reduce the stress of life. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening to us today. And we would like to thank Dr. Rania for being with us in the studio. And you have been listening to Mona Mohamed. Keep smiling. Have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great day.